welcome back to my film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. We're going to look for a lost bus today, yes, based on true events. This one, the film simply called The Lost Bus, yes, survival drama directed by Paul Greengrass. Over 2 hours, which is fine. It works for this, no problem. 15 certificate. Karen James of the BBC liked this. She said The Lost Bus doesn't have to bludgeon viewers with a message or with its timely resonance. Greengrass lets us feel it, but attitudes weren't all like that. Kyle Smith from Wall Street Journal only scored it 50 out of 100 and said, as expertly as Mr. Greengrass recaptures the flaming horrors, his film is somewhat superfluous successor to an excellent documentary on the same subject, Ron Howard's 2020 feature, Rebuilding Paradise. Now, I don't think you can compare the two. I think it's a little bit unfair. You can watch both, of course you can. This is a film as opposed to a documentary on it. So I don't see the point of making a comparison to that. In fairness, but most comments do seem to be positive. So we'll not worry too much about that. This, of course, is based on the non-fiction 2021 book Paradise, One Town Struggle to Survive an American Wildfire by Lizzie Johnson, about the 2018 campfire. Not particularly, probably known at the time here in the UK, but it's not something that's stuck in my memory from time, although we'll give you the facts of how many people perished, sadly, in this later on. But it's over the pond, we're probably aware at the time, but obviously more significance perhaps for those around or in the US, etc. And the film centres on the fire service's battle and a bus driver who has to navigate a bus carrying children and their teacher to safety through the fire, which became the deadliest fire in Californian history. It stars, yes, great cast actually, great well-known cast. Some of the lesser actors not so great. Matthew McConaughey, America Ferrera, I love that name, Yulia Varquez and Ashley Atkinson. It did have a limited theatrical release in the United States on September the 19th. I actually watched it towards the end of September, but I've been away, so this is the first chance I've had to actually put out a review on it. It's globally available on Apple TV Plus from the 3rd of October 2025, and I'm officially now, a couple of weeks later, doing this review on the 11th of October. Right, let's have a look at my little thoughts on this. I'll give you other people's thoughts and overall scores on the film. The lead character didn't get off to the greatest start with me. Of course, he has a love for dogs, which is fine. He immediately insults the older generation, which isn't so fine for me. So I'm not already particularly liking this bloke that much. But he does have the weight of the world seemingly on his shoulders. But hey-ho, he should treat other people with a bit more respect. But I don't know the real guy. I don't know the real character. And what, of course, he did in the film or did in real life sort of more than compensates. But still it's a little bit of an edge that I didn't like about the lead character or the portrayal of the lead character. I've no proof whatsoever of what the real guy was like. And despite the grumpy lead, McConaughey's a great pair of hands for this. Great role for him as the tension mounts around him and of course other characters, and it all ramps up from about 15 to 20 minutes in when you get a little bit more away from a little bit of a character assassination to his talent. The chemistry between McConaughey and Ferrera is spot on for this. Helps the film work when it's concentrating on the two in the school bus. Some great little acting from some of the kids as well. Anyway, we know this, as I said, we know this guy will be a hero. So there's no messing about. There's no big build-up in a 2 hour, 5-minute film approximately. It gets on with it fairly quickly, which I like. I don't mind a little bit of backstory, but it doesn't, not necessary. And it does have that at times docudrama feel to it, certainly with the acting away from the main characters, which isn't very professional. And it never really fully works for me away from, you don't, even though obviously you're getting to see the emergency services and the contact between the various agencies, it sort of lacks a little bit when it gets away from the action on the bus once a fire starts, which is a shame. And of course, as mentioned before, the documentary is probably far better at sort of isolating that and giving you the depth of what's happening. But it's excellent, as I say. It's scary. The actors in the scenes, as I say, away from the main two are not fantastic. But when it gets back to the main two protagonists in the bus, it all comes alive for me, and I really liked it. Nate Richard from Collider scored this 70 out of 100 and said, "The Lost Bus may not reach the heights of some of Greengrass' finest work, but that's a high bar to reach. Thanks to some immersive set pieces, grounded performances and stellar direction, the latest film from Apple TV Plus rises above its shortcomings, resulting in a gripping docudrama that is worthy of your time. I have to agree, I can't say much different to that. But again, another one who's a little bit negative on this, Michael Ordona of the San Francisco Chronicle, so interested in that, of course, not far from the region where it all happened. He scored it 50. He said the narrative is hamstrung by cliche attempts to build Mackay's backstory, shamelessly changing key facts. It's poetic, it's dramatic license, isn't it? It's not true story, it's just based on true events. McConaughey's performance is just fine, as is Ferreira's, but the personal stuff feels like a distraction. I do understand, and I think I sort of mentioned earlier where Michael's coming from this. I mean, it's a horrifying true story anyway. There's no need to really change certain elements. But don't agree that the personal stuff really affects it too much overall. And when the bus element versus teach versus a driver scenario takes a central role, it sort of only really adds to the nail-biting story, and that personal element is only a real positive for the whole thing, of course. So I'd have to disagree with that critique. For me personally, I think it's one of the better survival disaster films I've seen for a long time. And, I go back to the days of loving stuff like Tower and Inferno, and, but they weren't based on real events. This is even more poignant and effective because it's based on real events. In fact, the campfire caused 85 fatalities. That's according to Wikipedia. So rest in peace all those people who sadly lost their lives in this tragedy. Other scores in general, Rotten Tomatoes, 85% positivity in their 116 critics, so 99 fresh, 17 rotten, so a reasonable chunk, but obviously a lot of people liking this. The consensus of the website, recreating a real-life disaster with terrifying authenticity. The Lost Bus ratchets up the tension while maintaining a humanist core, thanks to Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera's effective performances, absolutely. Metacritic score is 64 out of 100, okay, so that's okay, that's fine. 24 critics, 12 were positive, but we got 12 mixed, and I would be mixed based on the action away from our two main protagonists and the school kids, but I'd have to go positive. I can't be mixed on this one. Rotten Tomatoes audience liked it, 4.6 out of 5. Metacritic uses 6.7 out of 10, so they liked it. Internet Movie Database, when I first looked at this about 2.5 weeks ago, it was about 7.4, and not unusually, it's dropped a little bit. It's gone down to 6.9 now, with 16,000 people leaving reviews and scores. My score for it, and initially when I watched it, gave it a 7.5. I'm going to go with 7. I'll go with 7 for this. I say there was a few little weaknesses in it, but overall a really good film for its type. So let me know what you think, guys. Please, if you are new to the channel, if you can smash those like buttons, that'd be fantastic. If you subscribe, you're not already done so. Give us any hype points you've got. We can get hype points these days as well, can't we? So if you can do that for me as well, if you like the content, that's fantastic. Of course, you can contact me. Or there are other ways to help the channel as well, which you can find out if you just keep watching and listening.
Hi again, hope you enjoyed the feature, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you did enjoy the content, please give us a thumbs up, and if not already done so, press that subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, that'd be wonderful. It's free to subscribe, absolutely free. Also, check out my social media links if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. They'll all be in the description below. And my special thanks to supporters of the channel, yes, Piat6505, who have an eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia, including posters, books, magazines. There'll be a link again in the comments section. And if you're into your football, don't forget my football stuff on Manchester City for general football fans, but mainly City fans, of course. Or if you know someone who might enjoy that, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And as ever, guys, comments on this feature is wonderful. Anything to do with film and TV is always very, very welcome. It's great to talk film and TV. I thank you guys for your support. Stay safe, everyone.